This is the year we learn how to manage our emotions, and in order to learn how to manage them, we have to learn about them first. And today we're going to talk about grief. Grief feels a little bit heavier than the other emotions to me. And so I want to make it very clear that I am not a therapist. I don't have a degree in this. I'm just a girl who goes to a lot of therapy for grief. And I do a lot of research to help my kids. But by no means am I an expert in this. So if your grief is feeling too big and it's just overtaking your life, it's time to call somebody. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your grandma, your friend, your doctor, 988, whatever it is, it's time to call somebody. Grief is a primary emotion, and that means that at the base level, we feel grief. And I know you've heard about the 5 stages of grief, but what's important to remember about the 5 stages of grief, it's actually just specifically about the type of grief if you learn that you have so long to live. If you learn that you have a life ending disease or something, and you know you're going to pass away, the 5 stages of grief is only for that type of grief. It is not for all types of grief. All the other types of grief, you're going to feel those 5 stages, but it might not be in that order. And you're it's more like a circle, like a cycle. Or at least in my case, that's what it feels like. Grief is just our body's way of responding to losing something or someone. And it's important to remember that grief is not just if you, someone you love passes away. There's lots of types of grief. And I think it's important to remember that not everyone grieves the same. And not everyone's secondary emotions come with grief. And not the same secondary emotions come with grief for every person. Some people might grieve a little bit more angry, and some people are going to grieve a little bit more anxiously. And a lot of secondary emotions are going to come, and they're not the same for everybody. In my personal experience, it's really important to not fight grief. It's really important to just let yourself feel it. Let yourself be sad. Let yourself feel all those emotions. And once again, if they start to get too big, it's time to call somebody. If you fight it and you make yourself feel silly for feeling it, or you get mad at yourself for feeling grief, it's just going to get shoved down, and it's going to come back up, usually with a lot bigger secondary emotions. Those secondary emotions do not like it when you shove their friends down, and they will come and they will make you feel that primary emotion. This is the year we stop shaming our emotions for feeling too big and needing help with them. Thank you for being here.